Why Neanderthals were absolute freaks of nature, history for sleep. Soft ambient music fades in, the sound of wind through ancient mountains, crackling fire. Tonight, we travel back in time. Not thousands, but tens of thousands of years. To a world cold, harsh, and wild. A world ruled not by cities or machines, but by ice, mammoths, and firelight. And in this frozen land of Europe and Asia, there walked a species so powerful, so unique, that even nature seemed to test her limits when creating them. They were the Neanderthals, our ancient cousins, and perhaps the most misunderstood beings ever to walk this earth. Globe Chapter 1, The World Before Us. Imagine a world blanketed in endless winter. Glaciers the size of continents crawl across the land. Wolves, saber-toothed cats, and cave bears roam freely. And somewhere among the icy cliffs, a tribe of Neanderthals gathers around a fire. Their faces are broad and strong. Their eyes deep and intelligent. They wear thick furs, and their muscles ripple under the dim glow of flames. These weren't primitive brutes. They were survivors, engineered by evolution itself, to endure where no modern human could. Shorter, stockier, and far more powerful than us. A Neanderthal's body was a fortress against the cold. Their bones were nearly twice as thick as ours. And their strength, it was said they could crush a man's skull with one hand. But strength was only the beginning. Brain Chapter 2, Minds of Stone and Fire. Inside those massive skulls lay something remarkable, a brain larger than ours. Yes, larger, by nearly 20%. Their minds could imagine, create, and plan. They made tools with precision, hunted mammoths with strategy, and cared for their sick and elderly. Archaeologists have found Neanderthal burial sites, where flowers once lay beside the dead. They mourned their loved ones. They understood loss. In caves across Europe, paintings of hands, animals, and symbols mark the walls like whispers from another time. These weren't just survival machines. They were thinkers. They had art, emotion, and perhaps even the first sparks of what we call humanity. Fire Chapter 3, The Power of Fire and Ice. For the Neanderthal, fire was life. In a time where temperatures could kill in minutes, fire meant warmth, light, and safety. They built hearths deep in caves, creating homes that glowed against the dark. They crafted tools sharper than obsidian, and used spears to hunt giants. Woolly mammoths, rhinos, even bison. When they struck, they moved like a pack of lions, coordinated, fearless, silent. Each member knew their role. Each worked together. They weren't savages. They were warriors of the Ice Age. Skull Chapter 4, The Arrival of Us. And then, we arrived. Homo sapiens, humans, coming out of Africa, armed with language, art, and cunning. At first, we lived side by side. For a time, both species walked the earth together. We traded, we watched. We even loved one another. Yes, you and I, right now, carry the proof in our blood. Modern humans have Neanderthal DNA, a ghostly echo from ancient unions, tens of thousands of years ago. But coexistence would not last forever. Crossed Swords Chapter 5, The Fall of the Giants. Something changed. Perhaps it was the climate. As the Ice Age grew harsher, food grew scarce. Or perhaps it was us. Our faster reproduction, our sharper tools, our ability to form large, complex groups. Slowly, the Neanderthals vanished. Not in a single battle, but in silence. One by one, their fires went out. Their voices faded from the mountains and caves. And by 40,000 years ago, they were gone, the last of their kind. A people born of stone and snow. Lost to time, but they were not defeated. They became part of us. In every strand of Neanderthal DNA that survives, their legacy continues. Their story never truly ended. Milky Way Chapter 6, The Legacy of the Neanderthals. Modern science has revealed the truth. That strength, that endurance, that spark of creativity, it didn't vanish. It was inherited. Neanderthal genes help us adapt to cold, fight disease, and even process emotion. They were not failures of evolution. They were masterpieces, a parallel path that shaped the destiny of humankind. And maybe, just maybe, we owe them more than we know. Crescent Moon Epilogue. The fire still burns. As you close your eyes tonight, imagine the glow of a Neanderthal campfire flickering in the dark. The sound of snow falling outside. The deep rhythm of breath, steady, patient, strong. A reminder that the story of humanity is not one of victory or defeat, but of connection, because the blood that once warmed their hearts flows still in us. We are the children of the fire, descendants of ice and stone, and in our dreams, their ancient strength still whispers. The Neanderthals were not monsters. They were miracles, freaks of nature, yes, but the most magnificent kind. Soft music fades out, echoing into silence. Feather YouTube title: Why Neanderthals Were Absolute Freaks of Nature, History for Sleep. Memo description: travel back to the Ice Age and uncover the astonishing truth about Neanderthals, our ancient cousins who were stronger, smarter, and far more human than history ever told us. In this 1+hour bedtime documentary, explore how they lived, loved, and left their mark on us forever. Perfect for relaxing, learning, or falling asleep to the calm rhythm of ancient history. Hashtag history for sleep, hashtag Neanderthals, hashtag prehistoric, hashtag ancient humans, hashtag ice age, hashtag history documentary, hashtag evolution, hashtag bedtime story, hashtag prehuman, hashtag genetics, hashtag ancient world, hashtag mystery history. Bell call to action. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe, like, and share to keep our ancient history alive. Join us every night on History for Sleep, where the past whispers you to rest. Crescent Moon.